unpredictable night here at Watching Wyrd on our countdown to Halloween. Tonight we've got a double feature that'll have you questioning just how weird zombie comedies can get. First up, it's Dance of the Dead, where a high school prom in a small Georgia town is rudely interrupted by, you guessed it, a horde of the undead. And it's up to a group of teenagers and outcasts to battle their way through the chaos, and trust us, they're in for a night to remember. Then we'll be checking in to the Dead and Breakfast, where a group of friends take the wrong turn on their way to a wedding, ending up in a creepy bed and breakfast, and things go from bad to bizarre when a demonic force turns the entire town into zombies. Let's just say checking out will be a lot harder than checking in. But that's not all. The twisted, dark story of the bad monkey continues, and we're in for everything from a trail of bodies, insurance fraud, and murder. So, stick around for the weird, the wild, and the undead, because tonight's Watching Wyrd is gonna be killer. Alan, over to you.
Tonight's show is gonna be killer. Good Thursday to everybody. It's nice to see the three of you tonight. Before we get started, I just picked up this Oreo Coca-Cola. Took a couple sips. I don't know. When I get down the bottom, I will let you know. Kind of weird, huh? We got zombie movies, but they aren't your usual zombie movies. Dance of the Dead and Dead and Breakfast, two indie movies that came out a few years ago. We're just perusing them now, and I hope you've seen them. If you haven't, this will give you an opportunity to look them up. Rich?
Yes.
What do you have? What do you have for us tonight? Any words of wisdom to impart on the crowd?
I think I'm going to leave it until we actually do the reviews, so that I don't vomit on my keyboard. I'm just gonna go from there. My words of wisdom for these films are: take them as they come.
Wow.
I will.
That sounds about right.
I can do Dead and Breakfast first. If you guys,
you want to open up?
Yeah, sure. I would love to. Yeah.
Before we do that, let's say hi to Tony, Mike, and Max.
Yeah. Hey, fellas.
Right.
Should we wait till we get a few more people and just talk some shit until some people come in, or do you want to just jump right into it?
Talk some shit. Come on.
Sounds good. Hey, Tony, you're in Florida. Do you see Vince Vaughn? Are you in the Keys?
Yeah. Tony is he's a neighbor. He lives about 30, 40 miles from me, I think.
Well, he's in Florida right now. I think he's with visiting relatives.
Yeah, he must be. I know he's down south right now, but I know Tony, you live in Revere, Mass, don't you? Or something like that.
You have my sympathy, Tony. Revere.
You should watch that Bad Monkey on the beach there, Tony, in a hammock.
Home of the killer seagulls.
Don't pet the monkey, Tony. Whatever you do, don't pet the monkey. That's how the zombie apocalypse often starts.
So how is everybody today?
Exhausted.
Tired.
I am swimming in all the water we've gotten from Hurricane Francine.
All right. Any wind damage?
Not here. I think that Louisiana got a lot more than we did. Everybody that I've checked in with is doing fine. We just got a bunch of water dumped on us. I've never had high winds.
That's cool. Well, I mean, the water's no fun, but you're far enough from the coast. You don't have too much to worry about, right?
No, it's just flash flooding. So it's just,
Yeah, we had the opposite. We had fire. They've got.
I saw horses evacuating themselves, like wild horses. That was kind of cool, but I don't think it was near you.
Yeah, that whole side of the country, from Mississippi over west, is either on fire or underwater.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've had weird temperature out here. Every morning it's been between 48 and 62. I've had to drive with the windows down. It was so beautiful. And then it goes up into the 70s at the end of the day.
That was 80 today.
Yeah, well, that was different. But that's what you expect.
Yeah, that's what
in
it
this
should be
part
right
of
now.
September.
Yeah,
In a
I
month,
was
it'll be
going from work last
45.
night. It's in the 60s.
Oh, isn't it great? Of course, you know what this means, Rich. You and I are going to get one of those. We're going to get an Arctic winter.
Yeah.
You know,
We'll get an Indian summer, and then we'll get
snow. Yeah, 3 feet of snow every 2 weeks, and then temperatures when they hit 0, it'll be like, ooh, a heat wave.
I know. That is no fun.
Well, I guess should we get started then?
Well, can I share my news?
Oh, please share your news.
Yes.
For those who care to know, I will be relocating sometime between now and the end of the year to the Gulf Coast. So I will be by the beach, and I'm excited to say that it should be a lot of fun down there.
Nice.
And Tina Brooks knows where I'm going. It's her old stomping ground.
Oh.
Yep. Hey, baby.
I
hope she's talking to me. Hey, this is for Max. Can you see that, Max? See that? That's candy corn.
Oh.
You're going to wrap it in a hot
Then
dog?
he's going to wash it down with Oreo Coke.
I know.
Yeah. Wash it down with the Oreo Coca-Cola.
I can't say much because I got some apple cider vinegar chips, and they were so good.
Apple cider vinegar chips. Never heard of it. I like it.
Oh, they're so good. They're so crunchy and delicious. And thank you, Max. I'm very excited about my relocation.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should scoot in. We got a few people here.
Hold on. Before we get started, let me ask this. When we do our 5-year get-together, do we want to include the weird links?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody
If I can get some hard numbers, we could probably do a hotel block and really do it up if we wanted to. So be thinking about that. Be thinking about who you think would come. Because I know that Landis Aldana better come.
Well, I'm just thinking of a weekend of drunken, naked debauchery is what I'm thinking.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's every weekend for me anyway.
Well, yeah, you know what? When we had that Valnex meetup, we had Jim Crisco showed up, and can't forget his name. He's gonna kill me. Can't remember his name, but we had a few fans show up.
That's cool.
Didn't Tony show up?
We had a few fans show up, so yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. We should figure it out.
We all know that I do event planning, so if I get some hard numbers.
Oh, hard numbers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we know, if we can get legit numbers, then we can look at booking a real bus and making, a big plan to go to New Orleans that way too.
One of those party buses.
Yeah.
There we go.
Plus,
let Scott drive it too.
None of us remember New Orleans when we get there, but
let's get started, kids. What movies?
Well, Rich.
I think we're going to do Dead and Breakfast first. So the stellar cast, including Bianca Lawson, Ever Carradine, Jeremy Sisto, Oz Perkins, Eric Palladino, David Carradine, Dietrich Bader, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, is Dead and Breakfast's only redeeming quality. I have no idea why these decent actors signed on for this 2004 film unless it was blackmail or they needed drug money. This film is terrible. And as you're never going to watch it, I'm going to destroy the plot for you right now. A group of college kids go to a wedding across the country, get lost and sidetracked into a one-horse town where evil hijinks ensue. That's it. That's the whole story. I could end right here and save you some brain cells, but you didn't come here for lame reviews and nobody likes it. Quit. Your typical bad decision horror movie has 6 friends traveling to the aforementioned wedding in a Winnebago. They get lost, end up needing to stay the night at a B&B owned by none other than Kung Fu's Grasshopper. In keeping with his culturally appropriated Eastern tradition, David Carradine has a keepsake box that you shouldn't touch, and Dietrich Bader is the worst cook in the world. Bader gets murdered, Carradine has a heart attack. College friends call sheriff, and a redneck Negan shows up to drop silly cliches about how stupid the kids are. In a shocking turn of events, the sheriff confiscates the keys to the RV, and the kids are trapped in Death Town. So let's go to a hoedown. The kids split up. Some go to a local party, but the nerd gets locked out of the B&B, climbs into an upstairs bedroom, knocks the spooky box over, and is possessed by the box spirit. I am the box ghost. Sorry, that's a fairly odd parents pop culture reference that none of you are going to get. Nerd Kid goes on a murderous rampage, taking small body parts of blood from his victims and stuffing them into his death box to make zombie slaves. But these zombie slaves can sing, dance, and eviscerate with the best of them. Creepy drifter guy, who I totally forgot to mention before, has the remedy for all the demon ghost zombie mayhem, but in order to fix the issue, we need grasshoppers' bones. Kids start to drop like flies, falling prey to the dead things, and the only decent part of the film happens. The douche dead nerd kid uses the severed head of his former friend as a puppet, with his hand shoved up into the cranium, making it talk in a silly voice. That actually didn't suck for a couple of seconds, but they overplayed it. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and company go to the graveyard, dig up the bones, then go back to battle the dead who surrounded what is left of the Scooby Gang in the B&B. A few interesting shotgun blasts later, and one more possession, and we're down to one girl left in the house who was saved just in the nick of time by the last remaining friend in the drift. The biggest name in the film, Jeff Morgan, gets taken out in the dumbest way possible by getting his neck broke in a 1-second attack. Shoot some guns, shoot some crossbows, magic ritual, and we're right as rain. I don't know how, but this attempted parody actually made half of the people who reviewed it not hate it. And it won 4 of those silly horror awards that nobody pays attention to. The film is best left unclicked by any trigger-happy horror fan with a finger on a remote button. You're better off watching Sweet Life on Deck or Monsters reruns. What do my compatriots think? What did you guys think of this movie? Scott?
I love this movie. I love this movie. It was a lot of fun. The acting is uneven in it, though. You got some good actors doing a horrible job. You left out Jeremy Sisto, from the dad from Suburgatory, and he's on, I think, the FBI TV series.
Portia de Rossi.
I'm surprised when Portia de Rossi has a little cameo in it. And Zach Selwyn from the old G4 TV was great. Come on, it was great as a rockabilly Greek chorus. I love that part. To me, that's my favorite part of the movie, is Zach Selwyn doing the rockabilly narration. I love this movie. It's trash. It is total trash. Like I said, the acting's uneven. The special effects are not the greatest, but there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood in this. And you had a young Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it. You know why he's in it? Hey, Alan Lasseter. He's in it because he's friends with the director and the guy that played the Drifter. They're friends. That's why he's in it. And they used the song "The Freshman" in it. The Eric Palladino singing it while he's drunk. You know, it's like, how the hell did they afford that? Well, the guy that wrote it, sang it, plays one of the zombies in it. He's a friend of theirs. So there's a lot of things. I think it's a friends project. You know, a big.
I was going to say, that was my impression of it. This was something that everybody got together one weekend and said, "Hey, let's do this." It just kind of had that vibe.
Well, I mean, it had some cool stuff too, because like the Oz Perkins part, when they mentioned the house being Psycho or whatever, you know, or in the Psycho house or whatever, they said something like that. You know, Oz Perkins is Anthony Perkins' son.
Yeah.
So that was a great reference. You know, there's a lot of references. When Jeffrey Dean Morgan tells out Bianca, I think it's Bianca or Gina. Oh, we forgot Gina Phillips from Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
We forgot her. You know, good job, Buffy. You know, and there's a couple of people from Buffy in this, right? And it's just, I don't know. I thought it was fun. I get what you mean, Rit. I really do. Because it's not a great movie. It's not a good movie. But I thought it was fun. I thought it had a lot of fun elements in it. The acting drove Tina crazy when we watched it.
Good girl,
because there was
Tina.
some good Ever Carradine's acting was good. You know, where she was like what Supernatural and some other cop show. But yeah, I like this movie. I will recommend it to people. Um, what do you guys think?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, let me go. So, can y'all hear me better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I had the microphone up on my hair. So my take on this originally was this must have been written as a play because of the way that it's set up and with the rockabilly. I guess I don't know what you call the guy who pumps the gas, but that guy. It just seemed like that's something that you would see in a play, and that's kind of how I took it. And then again, with all the people who were very obviously friends with the person who wrote it or directed it because they're much larger than this movie's budget or its reach. I felt like it was a flop, but I think they had a lot of fun. And I will say that old Negan looked effing hot in this. This is he young, buff, and if anybody is a fan of that man, trust me when I say this is probably the finest I've ever seen him look. So
Pre-keto diet Negan.
he's looking good in
Keto
it for
diet.
sure. But yeah, so Alan, this was not a great movie.
It's not, but it's fun. It's a fun movie.
It wasn't even as fun as I mean, maybe I should have eaten an edible. I don't know, but it wasn't as fun as I feel like it could have been. Probably watching it with friends that you're just goofing around with it, but it wasn't. I didn't hate it as much as I could have, but it was campy. But it
Yeah.
was it was no it was no Dance of the Dead. Let's just put it that way.
Oh
I
no.
love Dance of the Dead. I can't wait till we get to it.
I love
And
Peter
Scott,
Gator going, you
that's
piece
my
of
time is up.
shit."
It's time for you to go.
It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a good movie. When I first started watching it, I wasn't sure it was the right movie, and I gave up about 10 minutes into it because honestly, I hated most of the characters. The only two I liked was the weird type of guy who eventually became the Demon Master and the one girl who survives at the end. All the rest, I was waiting for them to get killed. But, you know, once it starts, once the box is broken and the kid is infected with it, it's a fun movie. The deaths are bizarre. You know, it's just like so stupid. You know, it's like he'll send two at a time up try to attack the house. You know, like those Bruce Lee movies. 40 guys attack Bruce Lee. One at a time. The best you said, Rich, was Harry D. Morgan. I loved the bad Southern phrases he used. They were so ridiculous and over the top. But yes, his death was ridiculous. I enjoyed it. I will never watch it again. It was fun watching the first time, but once you've seen it, there's, you know, you'll laugh at different scenes. Once you see it, it'll be like, okay, I've seen it, and it'll go on your never watch list.
You know, I'm sorry you guys feel that way because for Christmas, I got you guys all the soundtrack.
Now that would be bad. That wouldn't be bad. That was the second best part. The whole thing told in a rockabilly.
I love the rockabilly music.
You're getting that in the Miami Connection soundtrack. So, you know, you have plenty of music to listen to. You know,
well, that's
we also forgot playing one of the hit characters was Devin Gummersall. He was in that horror movie Reeker. If you've ever seen Reeker, he was in that. He's been in a lot of movies and stuff. And the doctor was played by Vincent Petresca, who did a lot of sitcoms in the 90s. So there's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah.
Did
You
you
know,
already
there's
mention that
a
guy from Drew
lot.
Prairie? Chef
Yeah,
Henry?
David
Yes.
Bader. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. You piece of shit. You piece of shit. I mean, it's a fun movie. I mean, it's not a movie I would watch. I'll probably never watch it again.
Yeah.
You know, but I've seen it twice. But I recommend it. It's a fun movie.
I'm going to watch
It's
it
a
a third
stupid,
time.
fun movie.
Yeah.
Stupid,
No, I
fun
agree.
movie. So what do you?
Stupid, fun. It never make the worst movie list. Well, Rich might put it on there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Top 100.
Well, so
We've seen worse.
so why are we gonna rate this? Yeah, we have. What are we gonna rate this, folks?
I'm gonna give this
I
a
give
1.
Ooh.
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
But I'm going to have a little
Love it.
side note here and say that I don't think Rich Restucci gets to give ones because there are times
One.
when things are so bad he doesn't even watch them. So let's just
One
keep that
time.
in mind.
Don't say things. It was one time. I didn't watch Hobo with a Shotgun. Actually, I watched the first 2/3 of it. But when a guy walks onto a school bus with a flamethrower and he starts melting children, I'm out. I'm good. I didn't. And the thing is, I might have stayed for Hobo with a Shotgun if the rest of the movie didn't suck before that. It's like, no. I didn't watch one movie. I've watched every other movie we've
Keep
ever
that
had.
in mind, kids at home, when you're listening to his rating
Uh,
of bad
uh,
movies.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
It's terrible.
Because
well,
we,
so-
Scott Baker and I, we'll endure.
So what did you give it, Happy?
I'm going
What
to
do you
give it
give
a
this one?
2. I'm going to give it a 2.
2.
I'm going
I'll
to give it
give
a
it-
2.5. Let's just give it a 2.5 because
All
I
right.
did enjoy the
Spike.
music.
I'll give it a 3. The music is what to me was the best part of the movie. And what Tina said down there is not true. I said something else about Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but
He
anyway,
looked corn fed. What?
it's Soulful Eyes and something like that. I
He
don't
looked
know.
good in this movie. I mean,
He did, but I didn't recognize him for a few minutes. It was like the voice sounded familiar, but then it was like, oh shit, that's him.
yeah, he's like. I mean, he.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember when Bradley Cooper made American Sniper and he put on all that weight and he looked really good? Y'all probably don't know that he looked really good. He looked really good in American Sniper. It was his best role in my opinion, but I digress. But yeah, so
I thought his best role was Space in A-Team.
no.
I love
I would
A-Team.
agree. He was great in that.
Hey Doc.
Hey Doc,
Hey, Doc.
Doc,
Landa, hello.
Max, trust in you, Rich.
I know. He,
Max, do yourself a favor. Watch this one.
don't watch it, Max. Don't do it.
I'm gonna say that
well,
if you enjoy our show, you should endure these movies that we have to endure. If you think about it. If you don't bother. But if you have time and you see it, you might as well experience the pain.
It's one of those movies, if you're with friends on a Friday or Saturday night and you got nothing better to do, break out some beers, break out a bottle of whiskey,
And
you
some
know,
heroin. 'cause
do shots
you're
every
better
time
off.
they do like a rockabilly song. Just do the shots. You'll enjoy the movie a lot better.
yeah.
I didn't find the storyline that captivating though. It
No.
wasn't easy to follow. So
Well, the biggest turnoff to me was those characters at the beginning. The two guys and the girl that was supposedly the maid of honor. They were just so obnoxious.
yeah, they weren't great.
I mean,
You
I
did
was
not love
just-
them.
I hated them. So, but they got what they deserve. So
David
Yeah.
Carradine was out. He was out like in the first 10 minutes.
Go buy some paint and a paintbrush and just take one swipe of it and put it on the wall and just watch that dry. You'd be way better off than this film. And Ash, no, that's been up there for a long time, probably almost 10 years. It's been a long time. He's looking at that.
Ash, huge Star Wars fan. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear he's a new.
Okay, so did everybody rate it? Rich, you said
Yeah.
1. Scott, what'd you say?
2.5.
2.5. Alan, and you said 5. 3. Okay.
3.
All right. And
3.
now we go to you, Mr. Baker.
Dance of the Dead. I will tell you, I went into this movie with low expectations, and loved this movie. It's not the best made movie whatsoever, but it is a fun movie. And it takes place on prom night. There's a nuclear power plant nearby, and all the stuff they're dumping into the sewer system is what causes the zombie apocalypse. And now, none of the actors or actresses in this I've heard of. Some of them look familiar. I think they're mostly character actors. But it's a high school girl who I think the vice president of the student council, and she breaks up with her boyfriend because her boyfriend isn't serious. There's the 4 geeks in the sci-fi club. There's the one bully. I mean, this guy is just over the top bad. There's the one girl that has a friend she likes, but she asks another boy out. She asks one of the heavy metal rockers out, and he turns it down because he likes her, but he doesn't want to go to the prom. And then there's this guy who's, I really wanted to ask her out. She asked someone else. Hell, I'm just going to go to the prom. But he's driving a pizza car, so he has to make a delivery first. All of them are at different locations when the shit hits the fan. And it is funny. It is. Oh, and then there's the gravedigger, the gravekeeper, who is just so stoic through the whole movie. It almost makes it funny. I'm not going to tell you. I do highly recommend this. Oh, all the teachers in it, except one, are buttheads. And all of them but one turn. And I love that one, the coach. I mean, that coach is a right-wing, Dixie-loving, gun-toting conservative. He's just so over the top. It's funny. Hi, Clark. But they all wind up in different parts of the zombie apocalypse, and they all wind up in one house. And then those survive realize, okay, we got to go to the prom and save all these people. So they all get, there's a couple of Star Trek geeks that, do long hair and that. There's one girl in her prom dress covered in blood. They get to the high school, and the whole high school has been overrun by zombies. I will tell you, you will be shocked. Oh, there's Archer. You'd be shocked at who the heroes are in this one that actually can bring the zombies under control. It's funny. I almost saw it coming. It's good. I enjoyed this movie. It played on the stereotypes. You had the science teacher who was just such a dick. You had the principal who was a dick. Coach was a dick, but he turned out to be a good guy at the end. I loved it. I watched it. I watched it again tonight so I could just get caught up on some of it. It's fun. It's got some gory scenes. The 2 scenes that that sold me on this was when they start rising from the cemetery.
Oh yeah,
they don't
cool.
crawl out of the grave. I mean, they like jump out of the graves and start chasing the kids. And the scene when they come to life in the funeral home. Oh no, in the morgue. So it's a good movie. I rate it. I really think if you like zombie movies, it's not as good as Cooties, but it's a fairly close second. What do you think?
Look at Rich. He's got something to say.
Oh, I went first. I'll go last. I want
to go. I love this movie. I've already recommended it. It reminded me of like Scout's Guide and Idle Hands and that kind of genre where it's very tongue-in-cheek and fun. It was kind of gritty. I don't know if it was the version that I saw, and I saw the version that was on Amazon Prime, because this is free on Prime if you have an account. Yeah. And it was just cute. Like my favorite thing was the guy who was the graveyard caretaker, and at one point at the very beginning he's like
finding these hands coming out of the ground, and he's like cutting them off and putting them in his wheelbarrow and wheeling around. And then later he tells these kids to stay on the path, and they don't listen, of course, because they're teenagers. And he's like, I told you to stay on the path. And they said something to him. And he goes, I'm just trying to do my job. And I loved that. So that was like my favorite line of the whole movie was, I'm just trying to do my job. And these people keep trying to rise from the dead. But it was funny. I enjoyed it. I did think the coach reminded me a lot of Scott Baker.
I do take that as a compliment.
It was. It was just fun. It was just a lot of fun. Like I said, it wasn't the best. It was no Shaun of the Dead. It's not comparable to that kind of a film majesty, but it was, if that's your kind of horror and that's my kind of horror, it was a lot of fun to watch. So whoever picked this one, thank you. I enjoyed it, and I think that the people I've recommended it to probably will enjoy it too.
And I love the line. I love the line the blonde says, I don't know how to shoot a machete.
Yeah, that was cute. But it had little stuff like that was fun. And if that is what you like, you're not going to be disappointed. It was a good flick, and I would watch it again. So, as compared to the Dead and Breakfast, I'm already forgetting that. Scott,
I had this one on disc, and it's got a great on disc. It's got a great making of documentary on it, a little short, where it shows them they've got the trampolines that they use to get expel out of the grave. Pretty cool. This is a true indie movie. I mean, it was made on no budget with a nobody cast at the time. I think the lead, Jared Kusnitz or something like that. I think he's been in a lot of stuff now, a lot of TV shows and stuff. It's fun. It's a fun movie. I thought it was kind of sad with the nerd kid, he finds love, but and it's funny though how they do that. I thought that was pretty cool. They, I don't want to give away too much because if you haven't seen it, this one is worth seeing. Definitely, it's a fun little movie, and I hope it's propelled the writer and the director of it into other movies because they did a good job with what they had.
Yeah.
Makeup wasn't bad. It was just fun. It was just fun is the name of this movie for zombies, and it was written in '98.
Really?
But this is one I recommend. I actually picked both these movies, and I enjoyed both of them. But apparently, you guys, except for Scott, didn't enjoy Dead and Breakfast. Anyway, Rich, I don't have any more to add to this because it's just a fun movie. Rich?
So, I just have one question. What the hell is wrong with you people? This is not you have confused not a bad movie with a good movie, because this is not a bad movie, but this is not a good movie. This is, oh my God.
This week, this is the best movie.
I will agree with that. I will absolutely agree with that. Of the two, I'm going to rate this significantly higher than I rated that last piece of trash. But still, okay, what I will give you guys is that this is a fun movie. And I will even go so far as to recommend that people watch this movie just to forget the other movie, because the other movie's so tough. But it's another one of those cliche trope movies, but it does kind of work. You can see that they really struggled in areas to do stuff. And one of the things, like Alan, I believe you said it was written in '98, but I don't. When was it produced? Because I don't know when it hit the screen, but for me,
2008.
2008. Yeah. See, the last one was 2004. But so I thought that the filmography on this was just awful. It was grainy and slow and and jerky. I think, did I watch this on Tubi? Is that where this was? Or Pluto? What was this on?
It was on.
I watched it on
Tubi.
Amazon.
Maybe it was Amazon. I can't remember. But it didn't play the way it should have played. The quality was really poor for a 2008 movie. It should have been better. But putting the quality aside, the film quality, not the quality of the movie itself. The acting was substandard. It wasn't very good. It was your typical, nerds win the apocalypse type of film. But it didn't have anything new, really. Even Alan, even the scene you were talking about, the scene that's in the bathroom stall, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I saw it coming. I kind of saw it coming, and I was waiting for it. I was like, all right, this is going to be great. And it was. It wasn't great, but it was good. And I enjoyed that. But I saw it coming, but they took it too far. All they needed was a half a minute, but it was like a 4-minute scene that didn't need to be there. It was overkill. But the rest of the movie, like you said, Scott, I enjoyed the right wing nut job guy. I thought he was great, the coach, because he starts off being a total douche and he ends up trying to save everyone, helping the kids and arming them and stuff like that. So I got a little respect for that guy. And like you also said, the science teacher was just a straight up douche. He was just an ass. But it didn't culminate for me. It didn't come together like I wanted it to come together, and that's kind of what made me sad. Because I had heard from I only watched this. I think I watched this one last night or the night before. I can't remember. And I really wanted to like it because all three of you had already said, "Oh, this is a good film. This is good." So I went into it thinking, "Oh, this is going to be a great film." But you lied to me. It wasn't great. It was meh at best.
Hey,
So,
Sam Raimi enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. Okay. You probably enjoyed the other movie too. So anyway, I mean, I don't fault you guys for leading me astray and down a dark and terrible path, but it's a movie that I think the fans would, some of them might enjoy and some of them might just think, it's stupid. But again, it's not a good movie. It's just not a bad movie. It's one of the tough ones for me. It was tough coming up with a rating, which I have come up with, but I would like the pace to have been a little better. And while there was a lot of gore, I didn't think it was good gore. I thought it was kind of iffy here and there. Again, the scene that Alan was talking about, that's a pretty good gore scene. But you've got better gore out there, like the movie Yummy. I don't know if you guys have seen. We did that a couple of months ago. That's got some gore in it, like filthy, nasty, awful gore. That's beautiful. But this was just so. This is not going to be one of my favorite zombie movies, and I likely won't watch it again. I don't know, and I don't like being the guy that disagrees with everyone else. But in this case, I'm going to have to be that guy. So
how come when you disagree with us, people love you, but when we disagree or I disagree, I'm a dick.
I don't believe I have ever called you a dick, ever.
No, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about everybody out there. I'm a dick. I'm the bad guy.
So you diss John Carpenter. You don't do that shit. That's bad news. There were like people with torches and pitchforks, and I tackled them and took them down outside your house. Tina saw them; they were there, and I took them down. But this movie was, again, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't good, and I'll leave it there. And I'm sorry that you guys loved it and I didn't.
Yeah,
not a dick.
No, I know. I see how you are. I see how you are.
Well, I feel bad not liking it when everyone else did, but I also need to give my truthful opinion, even if nobody likes it.
I'm gonna pick Hobo with a Shotgun 2 next time.
Double hobo.
Okay, well, Hadley, what'd you give this one?
I'm gonna give it a 3.75.
Oh.
I think this movie, when we talk about movies that should be remade, this is a movie that should be remade with a budget. Remade with a budget, this would be a kick-ass film. It had a really good plot. It was solid. It was what this genre is made for. But again, it was the The quality of the making of the film, I think, took it away from it. But I think it was great. I think that today, if someone remade it, it could be much better than if they remade Ghost. You know,
I could get behind that, and I would watch it if they remade it.
Mhm.
If it was remade with a
Well,
current
and
cast.
like I said, this is a true indie movie.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a true indie movie. It was no influence from, outside studios. So, Scott, what do you get this one?
I agree with Hadley, 3.75.
I'll give it a solid 3. I enjoy this one. I recommend it. Rich?
So I am also going to recommend this film, but I'm only going to give it a 2.5. I don't hate it.
I'm hissing.
But
Y'all hear?
It wasn't. Yeah. Oh yeah. I felt that actually. Willies. Make your own decisions on this one. Everyone else might love this movie. Hey, I don't like coffee, so there's that.
There you go.
Maybe my opinion is just
you don't like coffee.
No, I've never drunk a cup of coffee in my life.
And you're from Massachusetts?
Correct. Home of Dunkin' Donuts.
Nope. And you're a scientist?
Yes. Oh, I didn't say I didn't have
lived
caffeine.
on coffee.
Nobody said there wasn't caffeine in here. I'm like, most of my atoms are caffeine. But it's from Mountain Dew, not coffee.
Yeah. My best friend never drank coffee either. So
I can get behind that. I do.
You are out there.
Max, that's the problem.
People are out there. You people are out there. All right. Well, watch them or don't. I guess the three here recommend them. Rich recommends Dance of the Dead, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
And but Dance of the Dead.
He's just living up to
Dead Breakfast.
Yeah, Dead and Breakfast is it is an absolute waste of your brain cells. Just keep clicking on that remote if you see
it. Well, that's why we're here, folks. We're here to confuse you. So what do we got next then? What are we talking about next?
Okay, kids, it's time for Bad Monkey episode 4. Now, this episode, we're going to delve deeper into the mysterious past of Nick Stribling and reveal more about the corrupt underbelly of Key West. Andrew and Rosa are continuing their investigation into the failed heist, uncovering connections to Nick's past and the shady dealings of the local developers. This one had a lot of flashbacks, and I would say that so far this is my least favorite episode of the season. But we did see a lot more about Nick's involvement in illegal activities, including drug trafficking and extortion. A new character, Eve, is introduced, adding another layer of complexity to the already intricate plot, and that is going to be his daughter. I think, wasn't her name Eve? Am I wrong about that? Anyway, again, this is the pacing of this series is just well executed. The character development is great. There's a lot of plot progression, and the performances are strong. Vince Vaughn as Andrew Yancey is probably one of my favorite performances of 2024. And I like the questions that are being raised. And I think every episode makes the viewers want to see more, which is all that I'm looking for in a series is, a good story, good acting, and the possibilities of what's going to happen next episode. I felt like this installment kept everybody engaged and invested, and I'm interested to see what y'all thought.
Anyone?
I'll
Don't all talk at once, okay?
Yes. Next time, throw a name out there, Abby. Scott Glenn shows up in this one. I'm not giving anything really away. It's not like a big surprise, but he plays Vince Vaughn's dad, and that's awesome. I haven't seen Scott Glenn since the other night when I was watching Silverado. And it's good to see him. It's good to see him acting in something. This is I love the writing in this. This episode shifts back 5 years, and it pulls everything that's going on together. You see what happened to Vince Vaughn. You see what happened to Nick, his relationship with his daughter. Is the daughter Eve? Is that the? I know his boat's called Summer Eve, which is a great little joke there for a boat name.
Yeah, I thought that was the
But
daughter's name, but I could be wrong about that.
or is it the girlfriend or the wife? It's one I forgot. I just watched that episode. But so it pulls all the stories together. Zach Braff's in this episode again because it's a flashback, and things start to make sense as to what's happening, even though it kind of did before. With that big reveal of the episode before that, and you're just like, wow. It's great. It's great so far. I've kept my attention still. What do you guys think?
I've enjoyed this up to this point. I loved this. Was my favorite episode because it did go back. It filled in all the gaps. You now know who committed the murders, why they committed the murders, where everybody stands on this. And now it's just going to go forward. But it was just like, and I don't want to give anything away, but seeing how one particular character just developed from being he was a corrupt asshole to what he has become. And his wife, God, she's psycho. But it's good. I loved it. Vince Vaughn is great. They threw in now. They're still getting deeper into the Vince Vaughn versus the realtor. What's going on there? I love the battle between the two of them. Yeah, Vince Vaughn is fantastic. I love his sense of humor in this. I love his lines. I'm now really looking forward to watch episode 5. I loved this past episode.
Me too. I enjoyed it. I think that I'm usually not a flashback guy. I like a few minutes of flashback, but not a whole episode. And most of this episode was flashback, but I enjoyed it. It actually, exactly what you said, Scott. It filled the holes in. So I liked it. One of the best aspects of these actors is the way that I think Eve is the girlfriend. The way she
is. I looked it up and made a note.
Yeah. The way she manipulates everyone, but especially her husband, into just doing whatever she wants. And then when she steps on a bomb, or when she steps on a mine, like when she was trying to tell her husband that they might need to get rid of the daughter, she didn't say that, but she was alluding to it, and he just gave her that deadpan what look, and she just backtracked immediately because she knew she had stepped too far. And I think she's super smart, even though she plays an idiot. I think she's super smart, and she knows exactly what she's doing.
I think smart's the wrong word. I would say cunning.
Cunning. She's cunning. How's that?
Yeah. Cunning and manipulative.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, she's a bit of a bonehead. You're right, but she knows exactly what she's doing and what she can get away with. And then she pushed those boundaries, found out that she couldn't, and backtracked immediately and saved the day. Or saved her day. But she's evil to the core, and he's dumb enough to be evil as well. And
she plays him like a cheap ukulele.
Yeah, she absolutely does.
Yeah, does.
So I mean, that's where we are with that. I've actually already watched episode. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've watched up to episode 6.
Yeah, I'm up to date. I was gonna rewatch tonight's episode and didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, they're all excellent.
I got questions for y'all though. Like, how do you think the Dragon Lady's gonna tie into this?
I think her curses are real.
I think her magic's gonna work. I think her magic's gonna work.
Me too. I think that bad things are gonna happen to the people that she wants bad things to happen to.
And what about Neville?
So Neville's a good guy at heart. He's had some misfortunes of late, especially because they took and bulldozed his house for whatever's going on. They're trying to build a resort there, the bad guys. And there's another character that I don't think any of us have talked about yet. His name is Egg. He's the
Oh yeah.
he's the big. He's like the muscle for the bad guys, and he hates Neville. They do not like each other, and so that dynamic. That's actually a pretty good dynamic. And Egg's a bad guy, but I really like him. I like his character. I think he's a great character. Big, huge, bald guy, and he's
intimidating,
sort of a hitman. So he plays well, and I think their dynamic is pretty good. And he just can't catch Neville. He just can't catch him.
Yeah.
It's next few episodes they get into that as well. But I think the witch I think her spells and her magic are real, but we just haven't seen any of it yet. And I think in the last few episodes, there's either 8 or 10 episodes, something like that. I think in the last few episodes, we're really going to see her magic start to work, but not in a way where you would call it magic. It's just luck.
Right.
So
right.
I think that's coming. That's what I had.
What do you think, Scott?
I already said.
What do you got? Oh, did you? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I thought you had more to add. No?
Yeah.
No more to add?
No.
Well, I'm interested
I
to see
did
how
tell
it's
mine.
play out.
Probably, Rich, I did tell mine, right?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
I'm asking only because over the past 3 weeks of school, this is not functioning.
You can say
you
it
were
again
brief.
if you want to. Yeah,
You were
brief.
really brief. I thought you had more.
No, I mean, you guys covered it. It is a great episode. It ties a lot of stuff together. And now I'm just curious how they're going to resolve all this.
So, what do y'all think about the Scott Glenn character, and how do you think it's going to come to pass with him?
I think he had sex with a manatee. When Vince Vaughn asked him that, and he laughed, his laugh was like real. I wonder if that was snuck in there or something, because he just laughed like it was a real joke to him, That was great.
I love the manatee part. I think it's great.
I think the manatees are going to be actual spirits or people.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's going to come in. The witch is going to come into play. Scott Glenn is going to somehow know the witch, because he's pretty old, or maybe he's gonna know Yaya, which is the witch's grandmother. What's the witch's name?
Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
Grandmother.
The dragon lady.
Yeah.
Dragon lady. But does she have a name?
I don't know it. I just dragon
I
lady.
don't know.
Dragon lady.
I don't know their names. I just know the character.
Grandmother. But yeah, his character is fun.
Yeah. Like I said, it's good to see him again on something. I haven't seen him in a while. I didn't watch.
I love his voice. I love his voice, and that was, I guess, a highlight for me this week is having him and David Carradine on the radar.
Yeah.
So
I
like both of them a lot.
Agreed.
So,
yeah.
I know that Landa
Carradine
snuck
was-
in here, and I didn't get to say anything. But hey, Landa.
Happy
Carradine
birthday,
was
Landa.
72 when he died.
Who was?
Carradine. He was 72 when he
72
died.
years old and doing things like that in a closet.
Yeah, I know.
What a way to get! What a way to go!
Max Crumb still thinks the old partner's in on it. Max, I don't agree.
Yeah, me neither, man. I
don't either.
I don't know.
They showed his character more in this episode, and he doesn't get excited about anything, or so.
But
I don't know.
They're setting it up that he could be like a key component, but he's such close friends with Vince, and he won't hurt him. I could see that, and I'm dying to find out what happens between him and the Miami cop he got thrown off the force.
Oh yeah, I love that part. That was great. That was
See, that's what I love about Vince Vaughn. When he gets pissed off at you, he just hounds you to the point of aggravating death.
Yeah.
Ash, you need to start watching it now and just catch up with us.
No, Ash is the type. He'll watch it one like Saturday night. He'll go out there, make dinner, go out and just watch it for 10 hours. So.
But where's the fun in that when you have us every week?
Well, he likes to hear us piss and moan about that.
Craig, it's because you're on YouTube and not on Facebook.
Oh, speaking of Facebook, hey, if you hit like, please hit like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please hit the like button.
Also,
we really appreciate it.
Do the same on YouTube. We need to help with our algorithm. I know it doesn't mean anything to anybody but us, but we need the help. So
yeah, definitely. So we can keep providing you with quality content. See, that's what the other YouTubers say.
That's right.
If we'd have to have quality movies to provide quality content.
Not this week.
No.
No, but this is, I think it's great when we review, or at least one of us doesn't like the film, or even if we all like it, we can disagree with each other. And I think that's where, the fun and the snark comes in. Yeah, I just honestly didn't care for these two movies this week. But
well, you can't like all the movies, and sometimes y'all just love something, and I don't like it.
Yeah, well,
that's true. That's true. I think you've been the one that hasn't liked as much as many of the picks that we pick.
Yeah.
Not picking on you, Allie, but I think and you're not mean or anything about it.
But I mean, sometimes it's hard for me to watch some of the stuff y'all pick because I just can't stay focused on it. It's just hard for me to buy into.
You need a plot to follow to stay focused.
Yeah. I think it's fun if one of us disagrees. It's a lot more. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's fun to be the one that disagrees with everybody.
Yeah.
Because playing the bad guy is more fun than playing the good guy.
Yeah.
Well.
So I'm not saying that you're a bad guy, Rich, but I mean, you know what I mean.
You are. You're evil, Rich. Evil Rich didn't watch. He couldn't watch.
Well, he's got the Empire.
Shotgun.
Obviously, he works for the Empire. He's got their vehicles behind him. So.
Yeah.
Well, look closer. There's a rebel.
Is that the Millennium Falcon? Second shelf down.
No, that's a. I wish I could bring that over there. That's a rebel blockade runner. That's enormous. That's big, right? See, Big Mike and Darth Vader.
Okay.
And what a loss this week.
I know.
Oh yeah.
James Earl Jones.
And you know what I've seen is one. You know what I've seen is one of the best tributes they have. They show the scene with Kim and Carrie Fisher from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay. Did you know that he was? Do you know he was Ranger qualified? Did you know that?
No.
Really? He didn't get his tab, but he was Ranger qualified. Yeah.
You mean like
he was a
special
badass?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow. He was Army Special Forces. He was a badass.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Ash, it's not on set. I got it full on. I got the adult ADHD.
Hey, Craig, I got to have a big black helmet to go with my big black mic.
So next week we're doing spiders. So we're going to watch Sting and Infested and Bad Monkey episode 5.
I saw Infested over a month ago. It starts a little slow, but when it starts, it's phenomenal.
Okay.
I have not seen either, so that's good.
I haven't seen the first one.
I'm probably going to freak out. I've been killing spiders with all this rain.
I'll send you some rain.
The only thing about it is it's subtitled.
Oh, well. So I wanted to ask if anybody had seen Special Project. I sent y'all a message, asked about it.
Yeah. No. I haven't heard of that.
It's a Korean movie that takes place on an overpass or like a bridge, and there's like a. I've got to find my. I know I asked somebody about it, so hold on, y'all.
You asked us about.
Y'all don't read my messages, apparently.
No, saw it, but I haven't seen it. I have never heard of it.
Well, it came out in 2023, I think, in Korea, and I think it's out in 2024, the summer here. And it looked really good.
What's it name? What's it
Hold
called?
on. Project Silence. And I know that someone out there has seen it. But it is, it looks like it is a hybrid, probably Belgian Malinois and a fucking hyena or something. You know, special
Oh,
something that gets turned over on this crowded
Oh,
bridge
wow.
that
Yeah, they get stuck on a bridge going from an island where its airport is to the peninsula. And the weather gets so bad that they suddenly they get stuck. They can't move. And then there's a far more threatening concern, echoes, creatures born from a military experiment called Project Silence, and being transferred in the utmost secrecy are let loose on the bridge, wrecking havoc.
Yeah, they're not let loose, they crash. And they're whatever they're being hauled in overturns and they get out. So there's traffic is bumper to bumper on this bridge, and people can't have nowhere to go. It looks really good. But sorry, we talked about subtitles, so I had to throw that out there. If anybody's seen it, let me know where I can find it. I want to watch it.
Yeah, me too. I love Korean movies. They have come so far with their movie productions.
they have. They make some good movies.
Oh, yeah. And not just horror and zombie movies. I mean, they've got a movie about a nuclear meltdown. I can't remember the name of it. It is phenomenal.
Well, I sent y'all like 2 or 3 lists that I was compiling over some of my research into dystopian and post-apocalyptic movies that I wanted to see if y'all had seen any of those, because I had not. I mean, some of them I think I might have seen, but I didn't remember the names.
Same.
I
I
don't remember.
Yeah,
saw a bunch of
I
them,
had
but I
seen
didn't
most
see
of them.
all of them.
Well, let's try and go through that list, and let's look at some maybe
you
movies we
send
can put on the thing for 2025.
Can you send it to me again?
We'll have to research that and do it. But anyway, so that's going to do it for this week. And remember, we're doing spiders next week. And then the following week, I will be out. If y'all want to have a special guest, y'all need to find them and we can start promoting them.
There we go.
All right.
We should have a
That's
contest.
going to do it for this week's show. For notifications each time the Wyrd Realities Network goes live, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. You can expect fresh weirdness 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week. But before we depart, let me give a special shout out to our incredible patrons, Mike Lewis, Landis Aldana, and Alan Lassiter. We couldn't keep the lights on here at Wyrd without you. And a very special thanks to our partners that keep Wyrd Reality spinning. It's you guys who make our weird world go round. And if you're interested in supporting our endeavors, consider joining the Cabal of Wyrd over at Patreon. And keeping you entertained and bringing you new content is our goal with every cent that you donate. And if you are interested in partnering or sponsoring, be sure to send us an email at wyrdrealities@gmail.com. We are always interested in making new friends and creating a new tapestry of strangeness with you. So, until next week, kids, stay weird, you beautiful weirdos.